Hey guys, cause of the lockdown, I have a lot of extra time and a lot of time to explore what am I supposed to do with my YouTube channel and the content that I put out. So because of this, I'm also trying to experiment a podcast style where I give you news, I give you updates where my face is not shown. Comment below if you like this, comment below if this is something that still adds value to you. So for this, it's 12:15 Manila time. Allow me to give you updates based on what's happening in the Philippine stock market, news from Asia and around the world, and how it impacts the way you trade, the way you would invest, and the way you live your life as well, especially now that we are living in unprecedented times as well. So, if you're new to this channel, my name is Marvin Germo. I'm a stock market trader and investor. I mostly talk about Philippine, US, and Singapore markets. I also talk about business, entrepreneurship, and everything else in between with one hope, one desire to help you reach your goals of financial freedom. So, if you're new to this, super appreciated if you could subscribe, like, and share this page so that more and more people get updated on what's happening and we create a culture of putting financial education first. So, as a start no, of this video, you can see it already that I'm talking about the Singapore economy starting to contract, and that's the gist and that's the whole context of this entire video, plus other stories available. First things first though, let's look at the Philippine markets. The Philippine markets is up. It's at the 5,322 level already. Please remember, intraday last week, after the closure of the markets for 2 days, we saw an intraday drop of the PSEI to very close to 4,000. That being said, just a few days after, we're now seeing the PSEI up 5,322. We're seeing a lot of stocks that were heavily battered, especially Ayala Land. Ayala Land was so massively cheap intraday from 90, at around 19 pesos per share. Now it hit 33 pesos just over a 1 week period, and that's what makes the market amazing, because if you know what you're getting into, you have a battle plan, you know how to find cheap stocks, you trade with conviction, you trade not based on what other people say, you will always win. That's why when people were saying the market's going to go down to 3,000, the market's going to go down to 2,000, for those who ignored that, then right now you're doing a good job. For those who are following their plan, for those, I also salute people who stayed in cash because they're following their plan. That's amazing too. But you have to remember, no one has a crystal ball of where the markets will go. When people said that it's going to go to 2,000, guess what? It's not at 2,000, and we're back at the 5-3 level. Are we out of the woods yet? Based on the charts, not yet. Are we out of the woods yet economically? Also, not yet. Until we're at the lockdown, until we're at the standstill based on what's happening on the coronavirus. We're nowhere near that yet. But what we do know is this: people were bottom picking. The bounce that we're seeing is primarily because there were a lot of stocks that were massively battered, and they were so cheap already to ignore. So as of today, also we're seeing a lot of those banking stocks, a lot of those property stocks move massively up. Pure Gold is up 9.94%. Jollibee's up and back at the 100 peso levels. It last time I checked, it was at the 103. So if you're enjoying this, you're doing well. Comment below, press the like button if this is something that you're enjoying, how the market is moving. Please remember, and I keep saying this all the time, if you are new to this at this point in time, no, in the market, don't try. Your goal is not really to earn first. Try to learn first, because as you continue to learn, you build that skill, and it's that skill that will help you make money in the future. So that's where we are in the Philippine market. Let's go back to Singapore and why and what's happening to their economy. So they just released a report that their GDP dropped to 2.2%. What this does is, this was the first time that Singapore's GDP is down almost 10.6% annualized. I think the last time that they contracted, they had their GDP down more than 10% was around 2010. It was also on the heels, on the backs of the 2008 financial crisis. So please remember this. This is something that we will see across the board in a lot of economies and a lot of countries. You will see GDPs slow down. You will see a lot of the companies that were pushing hard now suddenly start to contract. And we are just at the start of this. We don't know how far this coronavirus will impact the world. No, as long as there's more and more countries going into lockdown, you can expect a lesser consumption, lesser trade, lesser tourism, lesser transport. Emirates just disclosed that they are stopping their flights. Cathay Pacific just disclosed also that they're slashing 95% of its operations. Philippine Airlines is closed for the month. Cebu Pacific is also relatively not operating as much. So you will see, when you see that, and you're just see how does that impact the economy 2, 3, 4, 5 months from now, and the jobs that will be affected from all of that as well. So we are just at the start. I really believe that we have not really seen the impact of coronavirus from a global standpoint. We are just starting. So my suggestion, and I keep saying this all the time, please store cash. Cash is king. You need to have cash that will allow you to somehow weave through this uncertainty. You need to have cash that will allow you to weave through all of all of this all of these times that your business might be hit, your income might be hit. Your cash will allow you to be protected at this point in time. But above and beyond that, if you have extra cash that you can invest, as what I said more than a week ago, there are a lot of investments now that no one wants to have. There are a lot of investments now that people don't want to buy, and you can buy them cheap as well. So that's what I'm saying. If you look at the chart of Singapore, this is how it looks like. It started to rebound already. You had two green candlesticks, two large candlesticks showing you a bounce. If I just didn't have the chance to put in the RSI, but majority of the world right now is also in oversold levels. Now let's look at what's happening in the US markets. The Dow Jones today closed lower, no. It closed higher at 2.39%. It tried to go to the 22,000 level, but when I said it closed lower from 22,000, it dropped to around 21,200, but still up. It's up 2.39% as of this point, as of the closing from last night. So please remember, the upward move that we saw over the past few days was predominantly because of the stimulus that the government is pushing. I created a video about that, talking about quantitative easing, talking about this is something that is good for the short term but may be bad for the long term for the US, because they're just artificially printing money, pumping in, injecting more and more and more and more and more and more cash to the bank, so that the banks can lend more money, so that there's a feeling that everything's okay, everything is good. And if you have, I want to know your opinion though. Do you think quantitative easing is good for the economy as a whole, or is it something that's bad, or is it something that's needed at this point in time when the whole world needs a jolt of, I guess, confidence, and that's what it's doing. That being said, though, it's been effective. Markets in the US have been up, and it's causing also a jolt of positivity or optimism in Asian markets. That's why we're also seeing the Philippine market as of this point in time relatively up. So again, regardless if you're trading Singapore, US, or Philippine markets, the name of the game is to stick to what your plan is, because when you stick to your plan, that's how you win, and that's how you can come out unscathed. It doesn't mean that you're not gonna get hurt. It doesn't mean that there's not gonna be any losses. But those who do not panic will always win. Now back to the US markets. Here's one thing though that you must consider. I don't know if this is something that you might consider that's good or bad, no, but I really believe this is a concern for the US economy. But again, since they can pump more and more money, they will always have a way out. But here's the thing, US unemployment claims have spiked to 1.6 million from a March 21, 2020 report. So what does this mean, and what does this have to do in the grand scheme of things? Please remember, the average unemployment claims over the past months were just around 220,000, meaning you now have more than 1.4 million Americans not having jobs. You now have more than 1.4 million Americans that will be relying on the government for money. Americans that used to have jobs, used to spend, used to get something and create something for the economy. Now it's the US government now trying to support them as well. And that means also that's where the fresh funds injected by the government that they can use. Please remember, what they can do is they can just create money. As they create money, that's what they could also possibly give as well to the people. So again, there will be long-term effects on this, but I just wanted to point it out that this may be something that could could be a trigger for something else later on. So Goldman Sachs also made a made an analysis that this is expected, or they project this to grow to 2.2 million. So I don't know how. I'll make another video on what a critical level is of unemployment for America, but you have 300 plus million Americans, and if it hits 2.2 million, it's not at the 10% mark. But again, you have to understand 2.2 million people is a lot of people. Now let's move on. Please remember the main context of why we're having a crisis is the coronavirus, and this is somehow a bit sad already that we've come to a point that one of the biggest hit countries is Spain, and because of that, and please remember the context of Europe is compared to the Philippines, there's more people who are older in Europe as compared to the Philippines. So that being said, Spanish doctors have to choose on who gets to live or die. They don't have enough facilities anymore, and that's why I keep saying it. If you're in the Philippines, you are well. Please stay at home. Please don't leave your houses. We have to stop this growth curve because there's not enough hospitals. There's not enough doctors. There's not enough beds. There's not enough masks. There's not enough alcohols. There's not enough testing kits in the country to protect everyone. And the best thing that you can do to save everyone is just to stay at home, just to prevent this from spreading. Stay hydrated, take vitamins, do the best that you can to feel better, do the best that you can to be the best version of yourself. The best thing that you can do right now is to not infect other people, to not cause this to spread. The best thing that you can do right now is just build your skills at home. Try to find businesses that could possibly help people as well. Another thing, and this will be good for us inflation wise. Oil continues to slump. The drop of oil right now already is massively, massively lower than the drop in 2016. Please remember in 2016, because oil dropped massively, it caused inflation in the Philippines to go low. It caused a lot of prices also in the global markets to be low. But of course, low oil prices also will have its effect on the Middle East. And just so you know, also there's a lot of overseas Filipinos in Dubai, in Saudi, in Qatar. So we could see an effect on that also from our remittance standpoint. We could also see an effect on that on how their economies in that area start to, I don't know, respond to it. So you have the coronavirus, plus you have the effects of oil in their region. Let's see what happens. But this is Brent. It's around 27.23 US dollars already a barrel. So it's something that's very, 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 very cheap already from that particular standpoint. So there, that's a wrap for this lunch period on the Philippine markets, which continues to rebound, which continues to bounce. It's not a full reversal yet, but as of this point in time, it's doing well. Singapore economy is starting to contract. Let's see how they respond. I believe Singapore is so good that they'll be able to respond properly in this. But if the whole world also contracts, then everyone, I believe, may be hit. Everyone will be affected by all of this, by what's happening here as well. And lastly, the US government may have to address unemployment, but because of their stimulus package, hey, the US market is still responding in a positive manner. So I guess that's it for now. If you guys have any questions, put them on the comment section below, and I'll try to make videos off of that as well. As you all know, the goal and the heart of this channel is just to educate more and more of you guys as well, to be able to be so that you guys will have the right foundation on winning. And by the way, I just wanted to promote a couple of things. Number one, I highly suggest you watch this video, Wilson Flores, on what you're supposed to do right now. Why is it the best time today to go into stocks, to go into property? He made some amazing inputs. Also, if you are a business owner and are having a hard time in your business, would super recommend watching this video with RJ Ledesma and another amazing entrepreneur, Willie Chua. He's saying that this is an opportunity for you to be able to win, to be able to invest. So again, there's so many perspectives that I've had a chance to post in this vlog over the past few days. Is a real estate crash coming? Uh, if you cannot make money since you're out, you can make money via e-commerce. So those are the things that I posted that I hope that you guys get to consume. Use this lockdown period in order for you to build as much of your information as possible, build as much of your skills as possible. I have an online course with Chinkitan. It's also in the description below, Stock Market for Everyone. It's a Tagalog stock market course, and also another online course with Shansi, which is called Make Money, Grow Money, which the heart and the whole context of that is to help you grow in business, entrepreneurship, and investing as well. Link is in the description below. And lastly, super appreciated if you could subscribe, like, and smash that bell so you get updated every time I create new content like this. We are the 15-minute mark. Comment below if this is something that's helping you. Comment below if you stayed up until the end. And comment if you like this format, this podcast style format for YouTube. And that's it for now. Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.